You have got to stop being lazy and start training to be disciplined. You are here for a reason. You clicked on this video for a reason. Most likely, it's to get your shit together and start acting the way that you really want to be acting. If you're anything like me, you have painted the world against yourself and you give up on everything because despite your efforts, nothing is working out for you. Notice how I didn't say best efforts, right? Because it's not your best efforts. Maybe you create an excuse for why you can't get anything done. Maybe that you want to start on your goals, but you just don't know where to start. You don't understand why what you're doing isn't working. Therefore, you give up because it gets challenging and you start something new. But after you start something new, you realize that that's not easier either. So then you quit that and you're just in a cycle of quitting and then starting and then quitting and then starting. The last thing that I want to do right now is admitting to not only myself, but to anyone watching this video that I am not disciplined right now. And those characteristics and experiences that I previously listed, I have been experiencing as of recent. I used to be so disciplined, whether it be school, sports, working multiple jobs to reach a certain financial goal, I was on top of it. And I want to get back to that point because that made me feel like myself to be able to accomplish those things, as I think it does for everyone. So getting back to that point, how in the hell do you do that? How do you just train to be disciplined? Within the last year, my mental health has really been on a roller coaster. And I feel like right now to work past that and prevail is the only way that I can do that is by accomplishing some goals that I set for myself. And I actually created a whole video on strategizing your goals, how to set them and achieve them in a strategic way that actually makes them accomplishable and allows you to do so. And I created that video. That's on my channel from last week. So if you want to go watch that, I'll put the link in the description so you can head back and watch that. Essentially, the whole strategy is what really kick-started me on this disciplinary action that I'm currently taking. But let's rewind. Let's break it down. What does discipline mean? I feel like this is a word that's very much thrown around these days that isn't always given the best example of, right? And it kind of makes it terrifying. It kind of makes it a little scary. And so let's break it down. Let's normalize it. Let's understand the ins and outs of discipline so that you can implement it in your own life and start on the path of like really leveling up. I'm going to give you the Google definition of discipline, but I want you to think about it and how it affects your life. So Google says, discipline is the quality of being able to behave and work in a controlled way, which involves obeying particular rules or standards. Now, what does that look like in your life? Really break this down, dive into it. Because for me, I dream about a life where I am a full-time content creator, creating content on a daily basis about lifestyle, acting, self-growth. I'm working out every single day. I'm consistently taking different types of workouts that grow and evolve my body to work in different ways that I've never really experienced before. Working actor, I'm doing auditions consistently, going to workshops consistently. I'm taking dance classes. I have a team that helps me with my content creation I have a video editor. I have just like a team that supports me. I have a financial advisor for my finances because growing my finances is super important to me because eventually I would like to own some property and put some money away and invest. I'd love to have a team of creatives working on a short film that I'm producing and that I wrote. I gotta start somewhere. Taking disciplinary action to get me to those points, for me, what that looks like is creating my content and getting everything that I need to done with it. Posting it, creating it, editing it, literally the whole 9 yards. Everything content-wise, I'm having to do myself. And I'm going to keep consistent with that so that I can get to a point where I can hire a team. The only way that's gonna happen is if I keep consistent with it, right? Because otherwise I'm not gonna have a platform to even need a team for. The workout situation, doing different types of workouts every day. So like eventually I'd like to do cycling one day, weight training one day, hiking one day, dancing one day, kickboxing one day, and just mix it up so I'm super versatile with my workouts and I know and trust my body that I could be thrown into a situation and I would succeed, I would thrive in it. And so what that would look like right now is that I'm doing workouts on a daily basis that I can give myself and I can provide to myself so that when I get to that point, I'm prepared. My body's prepared for this. So what does it look like in your life? Break down what discipline looks like for you and for what reasons. I want you to write this down somewhere so you can look back at it in the future for when you need to. Obviously, you are doing all this for a reason. Most likely it's because you want to grow out of the person that you've been and start living some of those aspects of your life that you are really, really craving and wanting to, right? You want to level up your life and start living that leveled up life, but how do you do that? Where do you start? How do you start training yourself to be disciplined without feeling overwhelmed and stepping off the path? That's the key problem, right? Is that you step off the path when something starts to get challenging. And that's what it is for me, at least, is that when shit hits a fan and I'm having a bad day, I am coddling myself. I'm on the couch comforting my emotions because that's what I want in the moment, rather than looking at the desired outcome and just persisting and pushing past those uncomfortable feelings to finally get everything that I actually really, really want. You know what? When I think about that, I would much rather be getting pampered, getting a massage in my lavish, loving house rather than where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? You might think that coddling yourself here and there isn't going to affect your desired outcome, but when you add every time that you are doing it, it does. It does affect your outcome. You're not going to get the desired outcome you want if you're just consistently comforting and coddling yourself when you're having an off day. You have to push past that. You have to learn to push past that. You got to train your brain to push through the uncomfortableness of what discipline action brings. First and foremost, you need to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically to be able to persist on. Because if you don't have energy to give, what are you actually providing to the outcome? Literally nothing. You're not providing anything. If you don't have anything to give, you're not providing anything. There are going to be so many times where you do not want to do what is asked of you by yourself. There's gonna be time and time again where you're not feeling motivated to get shit done. And all of that is going to be an excuse, and you need to recognize that. Being strategic about how you train your brain to be disciplined so you can actually get the most out of it. Taking care of your body, despite when you are too tired to, you are too lazy to, is discipline in and of itself. So what are you gonna do to start training your brain to be disciplined? Because before we set time to accomplishing our goals, we have to train our brain to do something on a consistent basis that we don't necessarily want to do. So I want you to think of those like mundane tasks here. I'm going to give you a set of steps that you're going to follow, and you're going to take this and run with it, and I'll show you how. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick 5 different habits, and I want you to make them small and precise. Make them specific. And you're gonna work towards them every single day. So that's why you want them to be specific. And I'll give you my 5 for an example so that you can see how specific yet small I am talking about. So for example, I wanna have an extensive skincare someday. I want my skin to be so freaking flawless. I want one of those red light therapies. I want hyaluronic acid. I want the whole damn thing. I wanna be getting facials on a regular basis, but more importantly, at home, I wanna be taking care of my skin a lot. And so that sounds like a lot of work, and it's probably gonna be like a 30-minute process. If not every day, then most likely every week. How can I expect myself to do that if I can't even be bothered to wash my face twice a day? I gotta work up to that point. You see what I'm saying? So my first goal for myself is following a 3-step skincare routine, morning and night. That's gonna take less than 5 minutes. My next one would be drinking a full glass of water right out of bed. This sounds so simple and so stupid that I don't do that, but honestly, sometimes I wake up late and I'm trying to run to my training session and I just don't have time to drink a glass of water. That sounds so dumb. But you know what? I'm terrible at drinking water anyways. I got my water bottle right here and it's completely full. I have not drinking the water today. I have a headache, actually. It sounds dumb that I can't do something that is literally craved by my body, is that I need to drink water to literally live, but I find it bothering because it's annoying to have to drink a full glass of water. And that's just because my brain is thinking that way. And so training my brain to drink a full glass of water right when I get up and out of bed is going to make me feel less bloated for the day. Also, it's gonna give me more energy for the day, as well as being able to just drink more water throughout the day. That's the whole goal. Step number 3 would be taking a vitamin every day, because eventually I wanna take a plethora of vitamins every day. I've not been a vitamin girly ever, but I would love to. You know what? I see the ones about ritual vitamins, and those are the ones I would probably want to do. But taking one vitamin right now every single day, doesn't matter what it is, just a vitamin, to get in the routine of remembering to do that. Number 4 is picking up and putting away clothes, because I cannot tell you, it's literally every day that I will like come home and change for my second job or whatever I'm doing, and I'll throw my clothes on the bed, and then I will not get to those clothes at all, because I'll be telling myself that I need to put them away before I go to bed. But by the time I get into bed, I am so tired that I do not want to put them away. So I throw them on the floor of my closet. And now there's just a pile of clothes sitting on the floor of my closet, which gives me a lot of anxiety. And it's going to take me like 10 minutes now to hang up all those clothes. Whereas if I were to just take off my jacket and put it on a hanger, that would take me less than 10 seconds. And if I were to do that to every piece of clothes, we wouldn't even have this. I would just be doing it. So getting in the routine of when I take an article of clothing off, that's going straight into my closet or my hamper, wherever it needs to go. Number 5, putting dishes away after I use them. One of those simple tasks that I should be doing. But you know what? If my dish is dirty and my dishwasher is full of clean ones, then I gotta unload the whole dishwasher and then put any dirty dish that's in my sink into the dishwasher. Realistically, this takes me another like 10 to 15 minutes. Not that it's hard work, I just don't want to do all of that. It's gonna be much easier if I just take my dirty dish and put it in the dishwasher. Or something that like me and Isaiah have been working on is that he'll do one of those tasks. So like when I'm at work, he'll empty the dishwasher. That way when I come home from work, whatever dishes that he accumulated over the morning or that I accumulate over the night, they can just go straight into the dishwasher, and then we can start it at the end of the night and go through the whole process the next day. That way we're not piling up, because when piled dishes are in my sink, I do not want to cook. I don't want to do anything. Like, it's just so overwhelming to me. I don't know why, but that's the case. So those 5 tasks, right? Those seem really, really simple. And it's stuff that altogether would take me less than 10 minutes to do, but I, for some reason, cannot be bothered to keep a routine and actually do them. Next, I'm going to actively carve out time in my day to accomplish those goals. Literally can be 10 minutes a day and I could get every single one of those things done. I'm gonna break it up so that they're created in a routine to where it's not all at once. And that way I do stick to it, rather than if it's everything at once and I don't have time in the morning when I need to drink my glass of water, I can't do all of those things at once. So I'm gonna break them up throughout my day and be able to accomplish them every single day. That way I'm setting aside routine time to achieve one of those things. Next, I'm gonna make it a goal of mine to accomplish these things for 3 days straight. And if I fail to do these simple tasks, then I'm gonna start my 3 days over, as well as give myself a punishment of some sort. So probably for me, it'd be like I can't read my book for that evening, which just like devastates me, right? And so that's my punishment. This is like training a dog, you guys, is that when you're giving the dog a new task or new trick to do, you reward them after you do it. And if they are misbehaving, you put them in a kennel and you don't give them the treat. It's literally the same thing. Our brains are working the same way, so that when I achieve those 3 days of those goals, I'm gonna go and get myself a treat. I'm gonna reward myself because I accomplished the goal that I set out to. And then I'm gonna continue on with my goal. So what you're going to do is you're going to find 5 tasks that you're going to accomplish on a daily basis. You're going to set a timeline of how long you can sustain that. And after you achieve that timeline, then you're going to go get a routine of reward. So make it like a coffee or make it like a sweet treat, something to where you can go get a reward after you accomplish it for those 3 days, and then you're going to extend it. So then your goal is to achieve these 5 tasks every single day for a week straight. After that week ends and you've accomplished every task for a week straight, you're going to go get yourself a reward. Then do it for 2 weeks, then do it for 30 days, then do it for 2 months, then do it for 6 months. Or do it for a quarter, and then 6 months, and then a year, until you won't even have to think about. Once you're at the point where you're doing this for 3 months straight, you're not even gonna have to think about doing them. They're just gonna be part of your routine, and you won't have to be concerned or worried or wondering if you're gonna get that done for the day. But if at any point you fail to do one of these 5 things for the next 3 days, week, 2 weeks, month, 2 months, you start over at 3 days. You go to your 3 days, you give yourself a reward. You make it to a week, you give yourself a reward. At any point you fail, you go back down to that 3 days and you provide yourself a punishment. You take something away from yourself, because you're not gonna wanna live without that thing. You don't wanna live without watching TV for the whole night. That sucked, you know? Something that is significant enough to you to where it's going to make a difference in your brain. Lastly, what I want you to do today is I want you to write down some motivational aspects. And do this where we were talking about earlier, is that this can be all of your dreams that you really want to be living, but you don't quite have into your life. Write that down as a motivational aspects, but include things like some words that your friends and your family describe you as. Maybe they view you as a really hardworking person and they're really inspired by what you do when you take these actions. And so write that down as a motivational aspect. Anything that brings good, positive energy to where you could look at in a time where you're about to fail yourself and be like, nope, I gotta persist. I gotta do it. Even though I don't want to, even though I feel tired, even though I'm feeling lazy, I gotta do it. It's gonna give me the outcome that I've always desired. And if I continue to take myself off the path and push away my potential, I'm doing myself a disservice every single time. And I want you to see that when you are reading over these motivational aspects. I want you to think about, if you fail, you're gonna have to start back again, and that's the hardest part, right? Not only that, you're putting yourself behind where you could have been just because you were lazy or just because you were tired. Now, obviously, if it's like a medical excuse, you can be lenient in times that you need to be. But for day-to-day stuff, if you're slacking, it's an excuse. So writing down your motivation that's going to provide that backbone support to actually achieving your habits and your goals, to set that disciplinary mindset in stone in your brain. Once you have all of this, you're going to grow and scale. So essentially, like you would in a business, is that you would keep growing and scaling your business. You're gonna grow and scale your disciplinary habits to achieving your goals. For example, is that when I've achieved those 5 habits and I can do those for 3 months straight, and it's just part of my routine now, and I don't even have to think twice about doing them in my day, they just come natural to me, then I'm going to choose 5 more habits that are working towards my goals. For the workout one, working out 3 times a week at a gym. Doesn't matter what I do at the gym. I could be taking classes, I could be weight training, I could be cycling, literally doesn't matter. As long as I'm going to the gym and I'm working out 3 times a week. Say I set myself that goal for 2 weeks. Once I achieve that goal for 2 weeks, then I'm going to set myself the new goal of accomplishing it 4 times a week. And I'll do that for another 2 weeks. And then we'll move it up to 5 times a week after like a month or 2. That way I'm in the routine of working out. My body's prepared itself enough to start accomplishing more and harder workouts where I'm seeing those results. So I'm working towards the goal that I have for my future by implementing a strategy now. I'm implementing a habit that once I'm following it, a realistic time period that I can sustain. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going to train your brain to be disciplined and eventually just be able to achieve all your goals. And it's not even gonna feel like you're putting in the work to do so. It's just natural at that point. It's just habit. It's just your backbone. That's you. That's your support, is you. And you've created it through taking these small disciplinary action steps to getting to that point. If you liked this video at all, please give this a thumbs up. This is a free way to support my goals, my content, and my dreams. If you were inspired by my video today, hit that subscribe button so you can watch more videos like this. If you're looking for some more daily self-growth, disciplinary habits, actions, goals, whatever it is, definitely go check out my other socials. I will have them linked in the description box below, as well as put on the screen somewhere. I hope that this video helped you out today, and I hope that you are ready to embark on this discipline era of your life. You're about to head on the best disciplinary journey of your life that's going to change your desired outcome. And I think that is so cool for you and so cool for me too. Remember that you are 1 in a million, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week with another video.